Hi all, how are you all doing? So the Conclusive Indian, my channel has brought the loan series. So we will go one by one. Today I brought education loan. Later on I will bring home loan and car loan and other type of loans. So moving over to the next slide, and let's just know the prerequisites and all the things about education loan. As we live in India, we know that education loan for our students is a very important part, and so I'll guide you at each and every step. So today, over the education loan, let's discuss the need, the cost, and the loan providers. Most of us in India go for education loans for pursuing studies after senior secondary exams. That means after class 12th, most of the students and their parents they opt for education loan. Following are some expansive fields where education loan is required. Engineering that costs around 4 lakh to 25 lakhs in India. Medical that costs around 15 lakh to 50 lakhs in India. MBA, Masters in Business Administration cost around 18 lakh to 50 lakhs in India, and others include catering, hospitality, animation courses, skill enhancement, digital marketing, aviation, data analysis, AI and ML, telecom courses, and they all cost somewhere around 1 lakh to 20 lakhs. Now, to fulfill above aspirations, middle class parents or students opt for the education loan in India. Now, I'll just discuss few banks which are providing education loans. There are many other banks, or you can say the service providers who provide the education loan. There are several money lenders. So here I have listed few banks: Axis Bank, Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, ICICI Bank, State Bank of India, and Punjab National Bank. Guys, I just want to give you one example. I took the loan from PNB, Punjab National Bank, for my engineering, and I took a loan of 3.8 lakhs and I paid 7.2 lakhs in just 5 years. So let's go ahead and see what does your loan cover. So your loan covers the college fees, that is tuition and course fees, the caution deposit. Ultimately, the caution deposit is one amount if you, for example, if a student is enrolled for engineering course in a college, and over the tenure of 4 years of his or her BTech, if some college property is being damaged by that particular student, then this caution deposit is for that thing. So I just wanted to make it clear. And accommodation charges, they are covered in your home education loan. Stationery charges, laptop or other equipment charges, and travel expenses in foreign visits inclusive. Now a very important note here: above charges are directly credited into college's account, or a demand draft is issued by the bank to the student in the name of college only. You cannot just take the money in your hand, you cannot take the cash. The loan is directly disbursed under the name of college. The stationery, laptop, and travel expenses are however provided to the student directly on the producing genuine quotes and bills. Moving ahead, we have some prerequisites. Before you file for education loan, before you apply for the education loan, there are some prerequisites. The academic background is seen by the bank, and the qualifications of the student. The track record of marks, credits, and achievements will be considered. The course for which the loan is being sought. Courses should be accredited and worthy of studying. They should have a good chance of placement and job prospects so that the applicant can repay the loan. The institution at which the course will be studied will also play a role. The university, school, or college should be accredited and of good repute. Whether or not the applicant can offer collateral on the loan, the bank will take into account what kind of collateral is offered and the value of it. Whether or not parents, guardians, or an acceptable third party are co-borrowers or guarantors of the loan, they will also check the job profile and credibility of the co-borrowers, for example, your parents. Property, in case guarantors are unable to show income proof. So if the guardians or the parents are unable to show income proof, they have to show their property. So now let me make one thing very clear: these all are the prerequisites for your education loan, for when you apply for the education loan. And this what there is one point that supersedes all these points. That point is that if you have a property in your parents name, under parents name, then it will be very very easy for you to take the education loan. Banks, they will just evaluate the value of the property and they will just give you the amount. They know that they will keep the property papers. So that's the most important thing. Now, the documents required is a letter of admission, duly filled and signed loan application form, two recent passport size photographs, statement of cost of study, PAN card, Aadhaar card of a student and the parent, of course, proof of identity card, proof of residence, IT returns of the co-borrower or you can say your parent, statement of assets and liabilities of parent and guardian. See, I told you this point in the previous slide. Proof of income of parent and guardian. Again, this is not mandatory. If they are unable to show, property will be fine. Okay, last but not the least slide. Banks offer loan for students to study almost anything if the guardians of the student have a good source of income or the family owns a great deal in property. Now, this is just my example. I took 3.8 lakhs of education loan in 2006 for 4 years of my engineering tenure. The interest was simple. Again, I like to say when you are studying, the loan remains as it is, only simple interest is added onto your principal amount. And by the end of 2010 I had finished my engineering. Then the loan became around 5 lakhs because I took 3.8 and 1.2 lakhs say of simple interest was added onto it. After that I got the job and I started repaying my loan from 2010 and I finished and I repaid my loan by 2015. So during that 5 years of tenure, the compound interest was being added. So remember, my friends, all the students and parents who are watching this video, that when you take the loan from the bank, the simple interest is added onto your principal amount during the time of your child, or if a student is watching the video, you are studying in that particular uh, institution, or for you are studying over that particular course. So the simple interest being added. Compound interest starts once you complete the course and you have started earning. That's it. Interest rates of various banks. Axis Bank up to 4 lakhs is 15.2 and loans greater than 4 lakhs is 14.7, greater than 7.5 is 13.7. Now Bank of Baroda for all loan types amount 8.5 onwards, and there is not a specific amount, it says it's onwards. And then we have the Canara Bank. As you can see, it's like some Vidyut Turant loan scheme. It's 6.6 up to 4. It's 10.4 and remains the same up to 7.5. Above 7.5, like it's 10.2. Now HDFC Bank is just like some 9, 13, and 11. Most important is like Punjab and State Bank of India, because most people prefer taking the loans from these two banks, Punjab National Bank, State Bank of India. Now Punjab National Bank has certain schemes like Punjab National Bank Kaushal loan interest start from 8.55, then PNB Saraswati Uddan 10.3. Then there is Pratibha, PNB Pratibha loan for IITs and IIMs from reputed colleges, XLI Jamshedpur 8.45 onwards. And then PNB Pratibha for admission to another college is again 8.55 onwards. So there is a difference of zero point 0.1 for PNB Pratibha for A-level institutes, IITs, IIMs and XLI 8.45, and for other colleges 8.55. Then there is a PNB Honahar, that's 10.45. State Bank of India is like 10.25 up to 7.5, and above 7.5 is 10.5. So these rates are not like fixed, they keep changing. For example, you apply for the loan tomorrow, then rates might be different. But remember, whenever you visit the bank, always ask the bank people what are the new government schemes, under what scheme shall I borrow the loan, so that I can easily repay my loan. So that's the most concerned point. Now there are some questions, or you can say facts. Is interest levied in a compounded manner while studying? No, interest is calculated simply. Basically, what I mean by simply, simple interest is added onto the principal amount while you are studying. After your studies have completed and you have gotten the job, then the compound interest will be levied on your principal amount. So this is a good thing, because this is a very good question actually. Is a good academic score is needed to keep availing the loan? No, but passing marks are required at least. If you're not passing, then bank will of course ask the questions from you or your parents. So that's the most important thing. Is prepayment allowed? Why? Obviously, every loan you can prepay every loan. What are the eligibility criteria for education loan? Student should be Indian national. That's it. What is the minimum age for getting education loan? There is no specific restriction with regard to the age of the student to be eligible for education loan. And what are the courses covered? For education loan under PNB Saraswati is available for all approved courses leading to graduate, postgrad. Now this is the PNB thing, and PG diplomas conducted by recognized colleges to universities recognized by UGC. So basically, this is just a PNB Saraswati which I was explaining here. But let me explain. Let me make it very clear to you people that for every bank there is no limitation. If you are showing proper documents, you can get a loan. You can get a loan. Loan is also available for part-time courses and job-oriented courses subject to employability and earning potential. So loan is available every way. You just have to show your documents. You have to prove that I will get a job. Students and parents have to prove their child will get a job, and they will just have to show their income proofs. And yeah, loan is available. Indian banks, they are very flexible over loans. How will the education loan be dispersed? The loan amount will be disbursed directly to the educational institute. I told you this thing already. What educational documents do I have to submit during application? You might be asked to submit the high school and senior secondary certificates, so that they can evaluate your performance in the past. Also, they want to see your the mark sheets. How interest is charged on education loans, and are there any concessions? Interest charged on simple basis, that is simple interest is calculated while you are studying. After your studies are completed, compound interest is being levied, and a concession of 1% ROI during moratorium period, and thereafter installments are paid regularly, and interest concession of 0.5 for women beneficiaries. So if there is a girl student, then this is the additional benefit for them. And also, when you're visiting the bank, ask the bank personals, in do the inquiry, ask all the questions you have in your mind. What concessions you get, under what scheme you will be maintaining the least ROI. So all these questions, I will urge parents to ask, because students at that time of point, they won't be having such knowledge. So parents should be like moving forward and asking these questions to the bank personals. So end of slide, and goodbye.